Well, hey there, rock stars. Sarah Rockin' Robbins here, coming to you live with a word for all of you today. Don't let the naysayers derail your destiny and steal your victory. That is going to be what we are talking about today. I want to make sure you guys tune in because I believe this is a word in due season that some of you need to hear. In fact, everybody you know needs to hear this. So make sure you click the share button right now. Share this for a virtual viewing party or watch party with your team or in the inbox for a friend, whether you're in network marketing, direct sales or not. I believe there's a word in today's message for everybody, and I'm super excited to share it with you guys today. As we get started, let's go ahead and get acquainted. If you don't mind, shout out below who you are and where you're tuning in from. And if it is your first time watching, click a number 1 in the comments because I want to warmly welcome you. And as you introduce yourself, I am going to quickly introduce myself as we get started. Who am I? I am Sarah Robbins. I am a former kindergarten teacher turned one of network marketing's very top leaders. I am also the author of the best-selling book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business, which you can find on Amazon or my website at sarahrobbins.com. By the way, Amazon's got the Kindle, the audio version read by me, but if you want these as gifts, they make great gifts for new team members or promotion gifts as well. Pick them up at a discount on my site, sarahrobbins.com. Super clever inside. You can open it up, write "You Rock," and sign it as a gift to your future rock stars too. I am also the creator of the Network Marketing University that actually works. I teach you how step by step through my online university. We built a $1 billion per year sales team, over 300,000 distributors on our team. You can sign up at rockstarrecruitingschool.com, and for a limited time, we're offering $100 off at rockstarrecruitingschool.com and $800 worth of bonuses too, including my social media summit, teaching you how we did the majority of this all online. You can also locate it at sarahrobbins.com, but if you've got the link, drop it below. I'll be sure to post it after today's talk too, but I'm super excited to dive into today's message. I believe a word in due season, and I believe this word is going to bless so many of you guys that are out there today. So we're going to be talking about the naysayers. What do you do when you face them? And how if you're not careful, they really could derail your destiny. That's a big deal, right? Now, many of you guys have heard the story of Moses and the Israelites, right? And by the way, it doesn't matter what your religious affiliation or beliefs are. There's some excellent lessons in leadership that we can learn from this story. And in fact, I'm going to talk to you about how it can relate to all of you today. So I just want to be sure we're all mature, we're all adults. Stay tuned in here, because this will literally be, I believe, life-changing for many of you today. But the story of Joshua and Caleb is actually one of the most powerful and dramatic stories that we hear in the Bible. And there's major lessons, especially major leadership lessons, to be learned from their story. Again, most of you have heard the story of Moses, but their extension of the story is so incredibly powerful and very much relates to the lesson that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, are you guys excited? I'm excited to share it with you. So basically how it goes is this: a little after the Red Sea parted, and by the way, you know the story that basically Moses was a leader that was charged to lead the Israelites out of slavery, out of Egypt, and into their promised land, a land that was flowing with milk and honey. On the way from Exodus through Numbers, there's so many pressures that I believe God permitted in order to build trust in him, right? There was plagues, they were protected. There was a famine. God provides manna from heaven. There was bitter water, tap on the rock, it's made sweet. There was an Egyptian army that was chasing them, and God parts the Red Sea before their very eyes and eradicates their enemy, their army, in front of their very own eyes, protected for, provided along the way. Now, a little after the Red Sea parted, Moses actually sends 12 spies to explore the land of Canaan. And this was the land that God promised to the Israelites. 10 of the spies reported, we can't go up against them. They go in and they say, we can't go up against these people. They're stronger than we are. This land is going to devour anybody who lives there. We went in, we saw the giants, the descendants. Next to them, we feel like grasshoppers. So basically they go in and, scout out the land and they say, oh my gosh, this is not for us and it's not for you. The interesting thing, Joshua and Caleb, they walked down the same streets, they saw the same land and the same giants, but they actually had a different report. Perhaps they had different perspective. They said, the land we traveled through, it's actually a wonderful land, and if God is pleased with us, surely he's going to bring us safely through, just as he had before. Of course, he's going to do it again. Don't be afraid of the people of the land. They have no protection. God is with us. Now, unfortunately, all of Joshua and Caleb's faith and optimism didn't change the mindset of the community of Israel. They believed the land was unattainable. End of story. You ever see that happen, right, in your own life or other people's lives? And no matter what goes on surrounding them, you see, what I believe that God wanted from the Israelite people was thankfulness, gratefulness, but instead it was like they had temporary amnesia of all of the pressures that came before them and before this season. And every single time when they were protected and provided for, yet every time the giants seemed to be bigger, they wanted to take 2 steps forward, but then they would take 1 step back. They wanted to go back to what was. What was not necessarily better, right? It was their comfort zone. It was complacency. It feels good. It wasn't best for them. However, it's what they knew. They have temporary amnesia, and they forget to remind themselves of all of the times that God showed up and showed off in their life. And they listened, right, to the naysayers. Instead of listening to the 2, they listened to the bigger voices, the 10. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so big and it's so awful and it's so dramatic, right? We surely can't do it. And they believed it. End of story. And it truly was at the end of the story. Do you know most of them did not make it to the promised land, including Moses, the leader. Joshua and Caleb are only 2 of the approximate 1 million Israelite people who actually made it to their intended destination, the promised land. 2 out of 1 million? What the heck? What made them so different? Here's the thing, guys. They didn't deny the problem. Trust me. The giants were hard to miss, right? They saw it, but they compared their problem to God. The other 10 compared the problem to themselves, right? So instead of saying, here's a problem, God's got us, they said, oh my gosh, here's a problem. We can't defeat it. We can't sustain it. We might as well go back. So my question is for you guys today is, where is your Canaan? What is your promised land? Whatever the promised land is to you, you guys, you have to expect naysayers. But here's the thing, we can't allow people and their negativity or their negative words to have us, really questioning and delaying and denying the goodness of God, the ultimate promise for our lives. We can't allow their negative words to keep us from starting. People have a right to say what they want, but you have a right to absolutely ignore them. Joshua and Caleb, they stood their ground. God took note of it. They were 2 in 1 million. Isn't that powerful? I hope you guys are sharing this with people right now, because this is a word in due season. Have you ever heard people say other people's opinions don't pay your bills, or you can't pay your bills with other people's opinions? We see this play out so many ways within our industry, such as somebody tells us no, oh, we get discouraged. Maybe we want to quit. Somebody quits. We feel defeated. We feel less than. We feel that we're lacking. Man, we must have done something wrong. And we just feel like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. We get so derailed by the naysayers, by what other people say, or sometimes what other people do. Maybe not the naysayers, the do-sayers, we should say, or the don't-do-sayers, right? We get so derailed by temporary disappointment that sometimes we allow it to defeat us or derail us permanently. And in some cases, it denies us of the blessing. And I want you to think about other people's blessings are tied to your obedience, but generational blessings are tied to your obedience too. Now, I recently saw this play out in my own life, okay? So I'm going to just share with you a really heartfelt story and something that's just been getting me charged up lately. You guys ready for this? Okay. Make sure you guys are sharing this. So here's the thing. We recently bought a second home in California, and we absolutely love it there. We absolutely love it, okay? So we have the best of both worlds. We've got the lake during the summertime, which is super awesome, but when it gets frigid and cold here in the Mitten in Michigan, we head over to California and we enjoy the beautiful sunshine, the warm weather, and of course the waves. And it's what we've worked hard for, right? We've worked really hard building our network marketing business to be able to enjoy this life and this lifestyle and really to create that legacy for our family. Well, immediately, even people close to us, thankfully not my immediate family. In fact, I will tell you, my parents have been so awesome and my sisters have been so awesome. They're like, we see how happy you are. We are so happy for you. We take joy in your joy. My parents are like, this is what we raised you for. It's been amazing. But there's been other people in our lives who immediately, they're the naysayers, right? Oh no, California. And you wouldn't believe what people say. I mean, just the funniest stuff. Not to mention on top of it that you're going to pay more in taxes and this and that and the other, and everybody's got an opinion. What do they say about opinions? They're like, yeah, everybody's got one, okay? So here's the thing. Everybody's got a reason. And it stirred me up for a moment, and I started to think about, like, you know, you have all the fake fights in your head, and you're like, this is what I'm going to go back and say to this person. And you know what I said to my husband? I was like, it's okay. They just don't get it. They're like the 10 spies, right? They go and they see all the negativity and they just want to wander and camp in the place of complacency and just stay where they are for the rest of their life. They don't want to venture out and see what more that maybe God has in store for them. Too oftentimes, people are looking at what is in their hands physically right now, and it's fear. Fear of loss. You know, what am I going to let go of? Or fear of, you know, what is it going to cost me? All of these things. And I'm not telling you to make unwise decisions. I'm going to talk to you about that in just a moment. But instead of looking at, you know, poverty thinking, what's in my hand? What am I going to risk for the short term? Or maybe what am I going to gain for the short term? I'm going to get more money. I'm going to save more money on taxes. Versus leading and living with legacy in mind. I said to Phil, what is it going to matter at the end of my life if I'm in my deathbed and I'm literally saying, by the way, we're going to live to be past 100. I declare that over our lives. We speak Psalm 91 over our lives and our children's lives every day. If you don't know it, Google it and pray it. But at the end of my life, I'm not going to be like, thank the Lord, I saved all of this money on taxes. I'm just so much happier to have money at the bank. At the end of the day, what I'm going to be talking about is the children that I have raised up, their legacy, their destiny, what we are doing to change things globally. I'm leading and I'm living with legacy in mind. So I'm not looking at right now what's in my hands that I can keep. Or what is this going to cost me? What am I going to risk or gain for the short term? I'm making decisions for my family with a legacy in mind. We look at generational blessing, and instead I said, what if this decision is part of my son's destiny? What if he's meant to be here? What if there's something so special for him that shapes him into the man and man of God that he is created to be? And what if there is something so special here for our legacy? Now, again, I want to be very clear. I'm not instructing anybody to make a rash decision and to go and move without praying and being led by peace. But here's the truth, you guys. He shows you his promise by giving you his peace. He shows you his promise by giving you his peace. How did he lead the Israelites? With protection, with provision, and ultimately that should have led to a place where they had peace. And they said, you know what? God showed up. He did it again. If God showed up there, he's going to do it again. And every single time I've seen the hand of God in my life where I am protected for and I am provided for, he showed us his promise by giving us his peace. Sorry to say, Joe Schmo, I don't care what you think about my move, my family's move, whatever the case may be. I care about the peace of God on our life and the provision that we are seeing as we make forward, as we make moves forward, and we make moves forward as we step into faith, as we step into the promise. I don't want to stay back where I was. I don't want to go back to complacency. I don't want to go back to my comfort zone. Nothing good comes out of your comfort zone. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what you speak about me. Say what you want to say. At the end of the day, I can't pay my bills with your opinion. So here's the thing. You're going to hear the naysayers, guys. Spoiler alert. You're going to hear it in life. You're going to hear it in love. You're going to hear it in leadership. You're going to find it in your personal life. You're going to find it in your professional life. When people tell you, network marketing, that was so stupid. You shouldn't have done that. You know, they're going to tell you no. They're going to quit on you. All of these things. And why would you let a moment of somebody else's insecurity to deny you and your children and your children's children of their destiny? You don't walk with your hands like this. You walk with your hands open, right? We're not going to sit with the spirit of poverty and lack. We're going to look forward and have an attitude of faith and literally be led by peace in the decisions that we make. He's going to show you his promise and the promise that he has for you and your family by giving you his peace. Guys, people told me I was crazy when I left my job to step into network marketing full time. You know what? This was back in the day when the economy took a turn for the worse and Michigan was hit so hard. I want you to think about this. You've heard of Motown, Motor City. We live in the automotive industry, okay? So when the economy crashed, the automotive industry suffered. People were losing their jobs. Families were moving. Schools were closing. I was facing the loss of my job. Do you know, I interviewed against 1,100 people to get my job. And here I was, when I found all of this was happening, network marketing shows up and God shows off. And my business takes off. By the end of my first school year, I was surpassing what I was doing in teaching, and I was facing a decision that I could actually walk away. In fact, when just earlier that year, I was worried about getting let go. And I remember having this conversation with my husband, and he was like, we operate in faith, and we are seeing the provision, and we are feeling the peace, and this is a decision we need to make for us and our family. Do you know some of the families actually that, one of the families that I taught their son in kindergarten actually sat on the school board, and when they heard that I was leaving that job, they actually later told me that they were planning an intervention. Literally, they thought I had lost my mind, I was crazy, and what was I doing? Walking away from a secure job, but really no job is secure, right? Into something that was unknown. You see, I walk by faith and I don't walk by sight, right? And so it was a crazy thing. By the way, later that person actually ended up joining me in business and is now one of the top leaders on my personally sponsored team. Close family members told my mother we were crazy and she would never succeed at network marketing. Today, she is one of the top leaders and top earners, not only in this company, but industry-wide. People told us no. They told us we were crazy. They told us we should quit. And look at where we are today, guys. We've got over 300,000 distributors on our team. We do over $1 billion in sales. And here's the thing, what is my why today? It's helping you to walk out your why. It is literally a marketplace ministry, and it is changing the world one life at a time through the network marketing industry. So what is today's lesson, guys? You have a choice. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't let other people's lack and poverty thinking to distract you, to defeat you, and ultimately to delay you or deny you, even worse, from your destiny. You have to have an attitude of faith, and you have to be led by peace. And you know what? You might be that outlier. You might be one of just the two who say, this is a great idea. But maybe you'll be one of the 2 out of 1,000,000 who go on to change lives and legacies as well. Now, guys, I hope that this blessed you today, because I know this is a word in due season. It's been brewing in my heart for the past couple weeks, and I'm like, I just got to get it out there today. If you believe this is going to be a blessing to somebody, you need to share this on a team page or in the inbox with a friend, whether or not they're in direct sales or network marketing. Somebody needs to hear this word today. Because again, as I shared, we're facing in our personal life, not just in our professional life too. Everybody's got an opinion, right? And I'm making choices bigger, right? With legacy in mind, not based on what everybody else says and what the world says, okay? Now, guys, truth be told, I really want to help you guys to walk out your why and to live your legacy. So if I can help you in any way, make sure you shout it out. But don't forget, you have the opportunity now and for a limited time to sign up at rockstarrecruitingschool.com for this mentorship program through our university with me. To give you guys $100 off, $800 of bonuses. So check it out now, rockstarrecruitingschool.com. And we're going to teach you exactly how we've built a very successful team. You're going to be so surprised at how simple the system and the step-by-step can be. All right, guys, I'm super excited to have shared with you today. Thank you for allowing me to share my passion very clearly. Don't forget to share this in an inbox or team page with a friend. And I hope you guys have a great day. God bless, and goodbye for now. Rock on, rock stars. We'll talk to you soon.